Okay, everybody, here we go. It is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Sunday, April 9th, 2023. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy whatever religious or sacred observance that you keep in your heart. All right, people, let us move forward. Let's talk about what's happening and what we can expect moving forward here. I want to show you something right off the bat. This, again, is available to anyone right off the Federal Reserve's own website. This is basically the Fed's balance sheet since 2008. Just to put this into perspective for you, we were at $1.5 trillion, the Fed's balance sheet, in 2008. We're now at $9 trillion. And the trajectory here, you think this is going to stop? Do you really believe that this is going to end anytime soon? I hope you said no, because it isn't. It's interesting, this little squiggly stuff here. Whenever we get a dip, you hear from a Fed president or whoever, oh yes, there's unwinding going on here. We're lessening the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve. How about that? I'm a macro guy. This is where we're going, and it's going much, much higher. Why? If you follow this blog, you're laughing. I know you are. The goal of every central bank is to inflate, all right, and to inflate and continue to inflate into literally oblivion here. Who's paying for all this? This $1.5 trillion to $9 trillion debt expansion cycle like we've never seen before in the history of the world, the universe, Easter, Passover, or whatever else. Okay, who's paying for all this? You are. Okay, I am, in the form of skyrocketing inflation, which is in no way, shape, or form peaking, getting better, topping out, or whatever else the mainstream propaganda wants you to believe. Okay, picture is worth 1,000 words. I think this is worth more than 1,000 in my view. But anyway, with that said here, you and I have been clear on what we need to do about it. Understanding that, okay, this is not going to stop. What are you going to do about it? What are you doing about it? I hope you're taking action. What do I always say? This channel is a channel for people of action, not little freaks who are sitting back doing nothing, okay? We're betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, realizing what's going on, knowing who the enemy is, central banks, none more so than the Federal Reserve, the geopolitical situation, the distractions, the deceptions, the look here, don't look there. Nothing is what it seems to be. It seems like a lot of people are caught up in this whole whatever they think is going on because being flashed at them via the mainstream media. Look over here, people. Focus on this. Don't look at anything else that's going on here. It's a mind screw. It's a psyop. I think you know what I'm talking about. On an unprecedented scale, and you can't get away from it. It's just the truth here. But you and I, look, we are way smarter than that. We look beyond the horizon, beyond what's being flashed at us or where we're being told to look. You understand? I think we all get it if you follow this blog. That's the truth. Anyway, just looking over at this market here, last month played out exactly like you and I expected, honestly. Did we foresee a banking crisis? Absolutely we did. How about that? I don't know another guy or people, this is our thing, that called this banking crisis from at least 8 months ago. You remember what we spoke about here? No deposits, no loans, and no deals. Those three things that we spoke about right here. And let me just shed a little light on this for you in case you don't know. If you believe, yet again, that this banking crisis is over in any way, shape, or form, it is not. And let me put it yet another perspective on this. So Fed President Bullard, he's been floated out a lot lately to try to talk the market into believing that the banking crisis is better. As a matter of fact, these were his words. I was just writing some stuff down this morning. Financial stress since this issue with the smaller regional bank has lessened. Well, if this were not going on, If the Fed weren't pumping the system full of more debt, $1.5 trillion, $9 trillion, you think we would be anywhere where we are right now? This is what I have explained to all of you since, like, I don't know, forever here. Okay. It's a cause and effect. Everything is a cause and effect. When you look at a particular situation, whatever it might be, it doesn't have to even be the financial markets. Okay. If you're seeing a particular thing occur, follow it backwards and say, okay, how did this start? What's the cause of it? Okay, now you'll see the effect, and you could follow a timeline. And again, this can be anything in life. And say, okay, this is happening now, but why? I think this is all pretty evident to all of us here. When you have a situation like this, where since the meltdown of 2008, central banks have gone wild. I mean, they should make like some kind of a movie, Central Banks Gone Wild, who have done nothing but create debt out of thin air, debt, credit, pumping the system full of this stuff here like we've never seen before. And then they want us to believe, sit down for a moment if you just happen to be standing, okay? And then they want us to believe that the environment we're seeing is just by accident, this inflation that's out of control, that continues to go higher, and then you have the freak show trying to explain to you, oh, it's going to get better, it's temporary, it's transitory, and then of course, not a single person is held to account. So when you hear from Fed President Bulltard telling you that financial stress has lessened, well, that's because they're pumping the system with more cash. People, full on, right now, today, as you're listening to me on this Easter, Passover, celebration of springtime, whatever it might be to you, okay, full-on quantitative easing is in play. There's no more quantitative tightening. I mean, think about it. It's getting no coverage at all. How many of you who have the displeasure of following a single financial network, I don't know, Fox Business, Bloomberg, Yahoo, Reuters, pick one, has told you that over the last five and a half months now, where the Federal Reserve was supposedly quantitative tightening, it's all been erased. It's gone. There's no quantitative tightening as the Fed is pumping hundreds of billions of dollars into the system. Duh. Okay, you don't know that. See, you're not allowed to know that we are in a new phase of quantitative easing, and henceforth why Bulltard is telling you that financial stress has lessened. Financial stress has not lessened. It's the illusion that is being kept real. It's the illusion that is being kept real. Remember, look over here. Don't look over there. What's going on here, people, is exactly what you and I have spoken about for freaking years, okay? It's an illusion. Nothing is real. Nothing what it seems to be. The markets are in la land. There's no connection to reality. Speaking of that, we heard over the weekend, I hate even talking about this stuff. We heard from the International Mafia Fund, the IMF, okay? And they want you to know something, okay? That the global economy is slowing down. Really? Oh, I'm shocked to hear that. Are you? No, you're not. You and I have discussed on this blog, again, before anybody, all right? And I take a great pride in saying that as a member here, this is our thing of this blog, you've been way ahead of the curve. The global economy has been cratering. Well, actually, since 2008. The illusion has been kept real by this, by cash being pumped into the system. That's all. It's an illusion, okay? 2008, the meltdown, that was when this all ended. This has been nothing but a drug-induced high for the market, reinflating a housing bubble, an epic housing bubble, reinflating a stock market hyper bubble that is beyond anyone's wildest dreams. And how have they done this? Again, cause and effect, by pumping the world full of debt on an unprecedented scale here. And all this is going to lead to is a meltdown on a scale that people have no idea what's coming. You do, if you follow this blog. So consider yourself one of the elite that has a handle on what is going on. It doesn't matter what your financial status might be, or what you have in the bank. If you have the intellect to understand what's going on, you're able to put together the big picture. I'm a macro guy, so are you. If you follow this blog, you are a macro person. That's all I look at, is the big picture, the big picture. And then once you get that down, it's pretty simple to ascertain what the likely outcomes are going to be. The outcome here, again, that moment of maximum saturation, how many of you remember me saying this since I don't know how many freaking years ago, when all of this would become very, very real. The first stage of the moment of maximum saturation, we're in it right now. That is this inflationary stage. And then, of course, this consolidation, integration, that's the word they're using on the mainstream, of the banking system, all part of the rollout of the new digital full control financial system. They have to consolidate the system first. They have to find a way to make payments work, henceforth Fed now, okay? And then, of course, when they're ready, we will, in fact, get an implosion here in the debt market like you have no idea. Rates are going to spike in an uncontrolled fashion, melt down the stock market. Cash will just simply move from one set of assets into another. You know my take on this is going into commodities, and of course I believe cryptocurrencies as well. Cash, again, doesn't grow little money wings and fly lovely away. It doesn't just fly somewhere. No, it just moves. From one reality into another. It's a very simple concept here. A couple of other things I want to talk about with you. So Jamie Dimon, the CEO of the Wall Street super bank, JP Morgan, he doesn't want you to be afraid or worry or have any concern at all about a coming recession. No. You see, you'll never hear the CEO of any bank want you to worry about a recession, depression, or anything, because they want you to go out there and continue to borrow and continue to spend. Meanwhile, what did we just find out last week? The savings rate, for how many years have we spoke about this, is now the most negative it has ever been as the global economy continues to free fall. Meanwhile, personal debt, household debt, credit card debt, new record high. This is exactly what you and I expected would happen, what we've spoken about. So I don't know how many freaking times. This is an elimination. This is an extermination of an entire class of people on a global scale here. So don't be afraid of recession. Go out there and borrow. You can't make this stuff up. It's impossible to do. The bulltards, the Jamie Dimon thing, like he's yet to be defined as well. Just like yelling, oh yes, it's temporary. It's transitory as well. So don't worry. Where's the accountability? Tell me again. Where's the revolt? Where's the revolution? Oh, you're not going to see it because why? People are being made to be dependent on the system. You know this already, people. You know all of this already. This is all just kind of a review, I would assume here. So the IMF, the global economy continues to slow. Slower now. Think about this. This is out of the mouth of the IMF, except I'm going to twist the word a little bit here. Since COVID, okay, COVID, the economy is slower now than since COVID. How does that work when they shut down the entire global economy during COVID? This must be pretty freaking bad if they're allowing us to know this stuff. What else did I write down here, people? All right, so let's just touch on this market here. So we know this is going on and it's not going to stop. All right. Meanwhile, we're seeing a really interesting phenomenon occur here. We have a simultaneous stock market rally as of late because of that. And we're seeing a rally here in the debt market as yields are dropping. But watch this here, okay? They can't continue this forever. It's impossible. And the side effect is more inflation. That you can't pump hundreds of billions, soon to be trillions of dollars into the global economy, just create this stuff out of thin air and then not be an effect, cause, effect. You understand? We're on the same page here, I think. So what central banks have chosen to do, none more so than the Fed, is inflate or die. They must inflate. You're not allowed to know this here at all costs. So we will continue to see, and I've covered this over the last, I don't know, at least a month, talking about a tsunami of inflation that's coming at us. A tsunami of inflation is coming, much worse than what we're seeing right now here, because central banks have chosen to inflate more so, and they want you to die. That's really the truth here. They're killing. Look, what do we know they're doing here, people? It always comes down to what we know they're doing. They're deliberately trying to slow the global economy, for which we are seeing this. Don't listen to Greg Mannarino. Listen to the IMF. They're telling you that it's actually happening here. But they can't slow the economy without killing the consumer. You understand? The consumer drives the economy. All right. Who runs the entire freak show? Well, it's the central banks. They run the economy. They run the financial markets. And they run the entire financial system. You understand? It's very clear. And again, it's all this game here. Oh, they're raising rates. They're really going to fight inflation. Meanwhile, there's no talk at all. Dead silence on contracting the money supply, which would really control inflation. No, but you're not allowed to know that either. No. You see, the issue is the flow of information, or how it's allowed to be fed to the public, goes via the central banks, who control the flow of information. They control everything. If you don't believe that central banks control everything, the media, the markets, obviously, the economy, the financial system, and the flow of information, you don't know who the real government is. The real government is central banks. They control everything. They control the military as well. They make the rules and they make the law. They are the law. That's really what they have become here. And being that this is Passover, Easter, or celebration of whatever you hold sacred here, it would take divine intervention to prevent this from happening. For those of you that are waiting for divine intervention here, you got a long wait. Anyway, with that said, people, that's where we stand here. With regard to the market, look, you know what to look at here, okay? If they continue to maintain the illusion of stability in the debt market, where do you think the stock market's going, lower? Or do you think it's going higher? Do you think that the reality of the situation, here's the stock market and here's the economy. Don't listen to Greg Mannarino, listen to the IMF. IMF is saying the economy is getting worse. The stock market continues to defy gravity. This gap here that I've shown you since, I don't know, 10 freaking years, it's going to get wider and wider and wider and wider and wider until the moment of implosion. The moment of implosion in the debt market is going to occur. This cannot be sustained. Again, what are we seeing? Inflation surge out of control, an elimination of an entire class of people, small banks being integrated into the larger system here, and it's not over. We are in the early stages of this. I think it's pretty obvious as well. U.S. small businesses here applying for bankruptcy faster today than during COVID. That's the truth. You don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. Okay, people? All right. This is our thing, okay? And sometimes you gotta, if you don't believe what I'm saying, if it doesn't ring true to you, look it up for yourself. What else can I tell you? This guy here loves you with all he's got. I really mean that. We got each other's backs, and we're never ever gonna let each other down. That's a fact here. And you gotta get this stuff out, people. I'm relying on you for that. Please, if you think I've covered anything important here, please thumbs up. Share the video, get it out there, and of course, please comment. All right? I will see all of you tomorrow, pre-market, and we will put together the freak show as we always do. And every day, we gain a little bit more knowledge. We understand what's going on. We're seeing all of the things that we have covered here from years ago literally unfold before our eyes, and I think that's pretty profound. And I love that. I love keeping all of you ahead of the curve. You help me with that as well. Believe me, I'm no smarter than a single person that follows this blog. In fact, I'm probably the dumbest among all of you. It's really the truth. But we got this. All right. I'll see all of you in the morning. I'm out of here.